Look, I see her face. Here we go. Here we go.
Y'all
Hey everybody, we're gonna have a great show today. We're gonna talk about education, economics, and entertainment. And we got Miss Teen Mississippi fresh back from the Miss Teen America competition here. So we're gonna have a great show. I'm excited for her. The hard work that everybody did, those who contributed, I appreciate you. Those who didn't contribute, you disappointed me. But we love you anyway. And thank you for all your hard work. So we're gonna get started in a few minutes. Oh yeah, for all our returning viewers, go ahead and put the heart signs up. Let us know you're out there. And for our first time viewers, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, so the rest of the world can take a dose of Reviving Mississippi. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Reviving Mississippi Show. I'm your host, Dekeither Stamps. We got our co-host here, Mr. Mac Epps. How you doing, Mac?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. Gonna be a good week.
That's right. It's gonna be a good week. It's been a long week so far.
It is.
Today just Wednesday.
Just Wednesday.
We've been rolling.
Man, it's gonna get longer.
Oh, you know what? But we're in full campaign mode. I love it.
Oh yeah.
You know, everybody. You know, some folks don't like campaign.
As they say on the A-team, you're on the jazz, bro. You're on the jazz.
I love it. And, you know, I want to first start off by saying I appreciate all the AmeriCorps volunteers who helped us out with the Keep Jackson Beautiful Challenge. We challenged everyone who's running for office, who's in office and seeking election or re-election to go out and clean up a street and clean up a lot in the city of Jackson, do a video, post it online, and hashtag Keep Jackson Beautiful. I want to personally call out Councilman Kenneth Stokes and Councilman Charles Tillman and Councilman Melvin Priester and Mayor Tony Yarber and Councilman Ashby Foote to go out and take part in the Keep Jackson Beautiful Challenge. We did our video. You know, we lead by example. We started off and cleaned up the entire West Side Park, Pear Street, Apple Street, Berry Street, 2 lots in the Queens today. So we were making our rounds today. I want to challenge everyone to do some form of service back to our community, because we won't know how you will be if you're elected if you don't serve in some capacity before you get elected. Mm-hmm. First up on the show today, we have the honor and privilege of having Miss Teen Mississippi fresh back from the Miss Teen America competition. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the show, dear. Tell us how it went.
It went great. I didn't win, but I did get the Scholastic Record Award, and I also got a $1,000 scholarship.
Oh, Scholastic Record. So you were recognized amongst all the teens in all of America about your scholastic excellence and your achievements here.
Yes.
Now that's winning.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you call winning.
That's winning.
That's winning, and come back with $1,000 in your pocket to go towards your education.
Yes.
Now that's what I call winning. So don't tell nobody you didn't win. You won. Right. You won where many others lost, because it was in your head. It's more important than what's on your head.
Wow.
That's right. So tell us about the competition. How long did it last? Where was it?
It lasted 4 days. It was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mm-hmm. It was at the Mall of America in Minnesota. And we went with the Special Olympics, because that's where the national office is in Minnesota. And we communicated with them, we fellowshiped with them, we made them feel comfortable. And we wanted to just spread the word respect, because that's the new R word. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying retarded, we say respect, because we should respect them as a normal person like we want to be.
That's right. And so, so how did you feel? Were you nervous when you got there? Tell us about your experience. Like the first day you get there, you see all these young ladies from all over the place. How did you feel?
When I first got there, I felt like, what am I doing here? Like, is this really me? But as I really got on into the competition, I got to feel more comfortable around the other girls, because they're in the same place that I am. Mm-hmm. Like, they looked at me and said the same thing.
That's right.
But as we got closer and closer, it became to be a great pageant. I enjoyed it.
where you had all of Mississippi, rooting for you, and
Yes,
folks from all over,
thank
folks you
y'all.
didn't even know out there
Yeah.
waiting, staying tuned to Facebook and see what happened and see
Yeah.
what the results were, So I just appreciate you for representing us in such a dignified and poised way. You're a wonderful young lady. So, what are your plans going forward now that the competition is over?
I plan to graduate.
That's right.
And,
Okay.
Good go.
We're going to do that.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, Mama not playing.
no. After that, I do plan to run for Miss Teen. No, not Miss Teen, but Miss Mississippi USA.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm going to college, Tougaloo College bound.
What school you going to again?
Tougaloo College.
Now, say it again. What school you going to?
Tougaloo College.
Okay. Good stuff.
I almost started singing.
After that, I'm going to get my degree. The Lord knows best. So.
Okay. So, what career path are you looking towards now?
Pediatric surgery.
Oh,
I'm
take
gonna
care of them babies.
Yes, of
That's
course.
right.
And I'm going to get my bachelor's degree in biomed.
Okay.
Wow. Sound like somebody going to Brown, that Tougaloo Brown exchange. Something.
Yeah.
Sound like that's what's gonna happen with her.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. And I also wanted to thank you all for all y'all have done for me
Mhm.
because y'all contributed a lot. And I just want to thank y'all, the WNPR family. I thank y'all so much. And I love
Now,
y'all.
can we get some autographs?
Of
We got these
course.
wonderful pictures
Look at
here.
that. Look at that.
All right. Yeah, can we get some autographs?
Sure.
Pen ready.
Look at it.
Thank you.
And I do appreciate you for representing us so well. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And we look forward to rooting for you in the future as you pursue all the many things. Look at, she is a professional autograph.
She got it down to season.
I mean, that's a real autograph. Get out of here.
And I also wanted to contribute to your campaign,
Oh.
if that's okay.
We definitely appreciate all the help we can get.
Baby, so
Thank you so
seed.
much. And we will call Mom
Okay.
and let her know when our next meeting is.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Well, thanks a lot, dear.
You're welcome.
And you're welcome to come back anytime you want to.
Definitely.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks a lot. Oh, I'm so proud of this young lady. I don't want to do it myself. She did a great job. So, ladies and gentlemen, look her up on Facebook. Take a look at all the things she has going on because she's definitely one to watch for the future of Mississippi and of America because she's definitely on the right path, doing the right things at the right times, and making the great decisions. And she has a wonderful support system. I want to say thanks to her parents and all of her family in the community for wrapping your arms around this young lady and giving her the support necessary to move forward. So again, thanks everyone who helped her out because Tamara Jones, Miss Teen Mississippi 2016 last year, did a great job. So Mac, could you bring up our next guest because I'm excited about talking about
Right.
economics.
Right. So today we are focusing on the 3 E's: economics, education, and entertainment. And today we have representing our predominantly African American membership bank we have here, which is Hope Credit Union, and we have Ms. Tawanda. How you doing, Ms. Tawanda?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, and we're glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I know a lot of people we talk about making economics work for us, and we know that a lot of times a lot of us suffer and are not able to meet the goals we want to in life because we don't have the financial literacy. So can you give us a little education today? Like for one, what is a credit union?
Okay. Well, first of all, let me tell you just a little bit about Hope.
That's
We
right.
got a lot of things going. Hope is a credit union with about 30,000 members. We have 25 locations. We're in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee. And as of Saturday, we'll have 28 locations because we merged with another credit union in West Point, Mississippi. And we merged with a credit union in New Orleans. We have 2 branches that we are going to be opening there.
Okay.
So we started right here in Mississippi out of the church. The church is Anderson United Methodist. We started in 1994, and we have grown to become one of the most respected financial institutions here in the area. So it's great working with Hope and just doing business there as well, because I'm a member as well.
Okay. So can you sort of explain to us, like, what is a credit union? How does a credit union differ from a bank?
Okay. A credit union We're very similar with the traditional bank in our products and services, but with the credit union, we're not for profit, which means we put people ahead of profit. That lets us offer lower rates and higher returns on demand.
Okay.
So when you open a HOPE account, you become a member and an owner, and each person has an equal voice.
So, first I want to start off by saying thank you for what you've done for several small businesses around town, especially Jackson Cash and Carry's venture in South Jackson in that regard, because it is wonderful that you're able to help folks that weren't necessarily getting the right support from other institutions that they were pursuing help from, and the reinvestment you make in community by betting on people. Because our human capital, our people in the city of Jackson are our most valuable asset.
Right.
Sometimes the institutions that we have don't put enough faith in the ability of our people, and you definitely, and HOPE definitely backs people as long as they're hardworking and have a good track record. They can move forward. A lot of folks need that. So, the reason we asked you to come, because we were sitting around the office, as we always do, brainstorming ways to make the city better and make our community better. And we know how we have a lot of check cashing places that have proliferated our community because we have a check cashing culture.
Right.
And one of our goals is to break that check cashing culture by getting our young people to have some very important cards in their pocket. One is a library card.
Right.
2 is a bank card, and 3 is an ID card at all levels. I believe that if we put this level of backbone and support inside of our young people's hands, as they grow up, they will be better citizens and better adults. So one part of that on the bank card side, could you talk about HOPE's banking for young people? Because what I would like to see is every young person in the city of Jackson to have a library card, a bank card, and an ID. Could you talk about the banking services you provide?
Okay, absolutely. And how we do, that's part of our mission. We want to create an economic opportunity for everyone. So we want to build and strengthen communities and be an asset to improve lives. And like you talked about the predatory outlets, that's what we're there for. We're trying to stop those, the check cashing places and the lenders, because it's very difficult to save money when you're spending money out in high interest check cashing places. So we do loans and things to keep you from having to go to those places. And we do have what we call, it's very new, it's called our children's savings plans. And that is what you were talking about when you asked about being able to open up accounts for young people. So if you just stop by either one of our 4 locations and ask about the children's savings plan, we'll put you in touch, and we'll open up those, tell you what you need to open up those plans, those accounts to help those children save the money. And they will have a debit card, an ATM card, because we don't want to give them checking accounts just yet. We start them out by saving, and then we teach them how to save. And we walk with them and do the financial planning and tell them, we don't want you to go out and get a whole bunch of credit cards. If you have questions on how to balance your book or you want a budget, we walk them through that to make sure that they don't go out and make a mess. Because, a lot of times when we're raised up in a home where we go to the check cashing places and all of that, that's what we know. So we kind of try to break that cycle.
Man, that is a cycle to break.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a cycle to break because a lot of times why we have economic plight is due to not having financial literacy. Not coming from a check writing family. So what you didn't get at home, you usually get at school. And I don't know how much they do now with understanding how to write a check. So what you're saying makes perfect sense, because you have to figure out a way to educate them, be better stewards of their finances, and how to not only create finances for them, but once they create it, what to do with it, the credit union. So what's the minimum required to open a?
Well, it's a good question. Go ahead and answer the question first.
Go ahead.
I think I just sparked the interest. The light bulb just went on.
Okay, so when you come in to open an account, we have a $10 membership fee, which a lot of times when we're doing something for the community, we waive that fee.
Okay.
And then there's a $15 balance that stays in the account at all times. So you're looking at around $25 to start that account.
So for $25, right, people spend money in all different ways, right? But for $25, you could start the financial literacy of your child off right. There are other things you can do. Of course, you can buy a child a Bible, you can get them a library card, but $25 to put your child on the right course, right? So that they know, that they have some banking. So we have so many people unbanked.
Right.
That's why they go to check cashing places, because they're not banked.
Exactly.
But if we can get more folks banked earlier, then we can be in better financial health. I mean, for goodness sakes, even the check cashing places have come to me asking to stop the proliferation of check cashing places.
Because of competition.
Right. I mean, because there's streets like Ellis Avenue. Ellis Avenue has over 40 registered check cash places on one street. You don't even have 40 banks in Jackson. Right?
Exactly.
Well, one street has 40 registered folks. Now, all of them aren't open, but they're still registered and could open and pop back up. But my point is, we have more check cashing places than banking places. And we could change that for young folks, right?
Yes.
Even if you were in the check cashing culture, don't hand that down another generation.
Right.
And for $25, what are the different forms of identification would someone need to open a bank account for a child?
All we would need is their birth certificate and social security card.
And do you accept any other forms of student ID at school?
We do accept accept the driver's license. We accept student ID for someone that's 15, 16. If they brought their student ID, or 18 or whatever, and they have college ID, we accept that.
Even JPS students have an ID. Even the junior high, they have a picture ID from school.
Right. And see, if a JPS a student came in, if they weren't 18 or older, of course, we would have the parent on the account with them. And just the ID for their parent, they would have a driver's license, and that would be fine.
So they can come in with their student ID, and then the parent have ID? Would that be the two IDs, or each one have two IDs?
Each one. We would have a birth certificate, a student ID, and then a social security card, and then the parent have their ID, which would be an ID, a driver's license, or a social security card.
Okay. So to the listening audience, you could change the direction of your children's financial future with $25 and the proper identification, going over to Hope. Talk about the different locations that you have in the city.
Okay. We have 4 locations in this area. We have the Terry Road location, which is our busiest location. We have the Jackson Medical Mall, which is also a pretty busy location. And then we have the Terry location and the Utica location. So we have plenty of locations. And if you can't reach us by walking in the branch, or you feel like it's too far, we have all sorts of online banking. You can Twitter us, you can like us on Facebook page, whatever. We're out there because we want to be able to help the underbanked and the people who feel like they can't be banked, because we're here to serve those people.
Okay, so let's talk about Hope's growth before the segment's over. Started in the mid-90s, and you have how many locations across the region?
We have 25 locations. Like I say, by Saturday, we'll have 28 locations.
Okay.
And we're out of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee.
So, and of those areas, how many members are members of Hope Credit Union?
We have about 30,000 members.
All right, so we could double the membership of Hope Credit Union just by getting members to our students in JPS. We have 30,000 students in JPS, right?
Absolutely.
So look at that financial impact, and then what that will look like going forward when we talk about home ownership and all those types of things, just by increasing the membership of this institution. So we have a great event coming up pretty soon. Mac, you want to talk about that event?
Yeah, we were just talking about economics and kind of collaborating a lot of different things about education. So we're going to have like a little mixer this Friday night at Johnny T's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the patio. And it will be facilitated by Hope Credit Union and TCL Tax Services. So we want to educate people and have more dialogue and conversation about things what to do for economic, commercial development, commercial lending, talking about, we need to conversation about Roth IRAs and investment, because if you are an entrepreneur and you have your own business, you got to look at your own retirement. So those are the conversations we are having in a nice, relaxed environment at Johnny T's, which is a product of that economics, African American economics coming to life right there at Johnny T's. So we're going to be there this Friday at 6 p.m. Hope Credit Union is going to be educating people and going more in depth about some of the things that they do and can assist you with, and you'll actually have an opportunity to have conversations with them face to face, and also talk to Mr. Tim Lee from TCL Tax Services all this Friday night at Johnny T's.
Okay. So before you go, give us your contact information if folks want to call, email, website, kind of stuff.
Okay. My contact information, of course, is Twanda Thomas at hopecu.org. I work at the Terry, Mississippi office, so you can reach me there. But we do, like I say, have 4 locations in the area. And you can go to our Facebook page. You can tweet us. We have Twitter as well. And the busiest branch and the biggest location is our Terry Road location. And that's right there on Terry Road. And the manager there is Tamika Lynn Foster. So if you guys want to come by, just stop by. We would love to open up accounts, talk to you about accounts, educate you on whatever questions you have. We will take the time to answer whatever questions you have.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate you and we look forward to building a deeper and better relationship with Hope Credit Union.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. If we keep going with our E's, we just talked about economics. We're going to talk about education. Economics also plays a part in education level, and also vice versa. These two work hand in hand. So next we have coming up to the mic, we have Ms. Carol Mims to talk to us about education update, and what they are working on as far as their projects they have going on in the city.
Now, Carol and Mr. Spann are no strangers to the show. Come on around. They're no strangers to the show. Been on before. Education is vitally important to moving the city forward and moving anybody forward, any community forward. So education is the heart of that. So talk to us about where we are with education. Another session just closed out. For the House and Senate today. So tell us about a little bit about our challenges this year and where are we?
We're going to be facing 2 major challenges. One, back in December of 2016, the Charter Board decided to grant permission for 600 more students to be added to the charter schools that are in Jackson. So that's already like a financial burden on the district, because right now I think they are sending out $1.2 million to those schools, so it will actually triple. So as far as financial obligations, they would definitely have to use the financial funds sent from the city to cover those financial obligations for the charter. Another thing is, recently on yesterday, they did another cut, which was $626,000.
Wow.
That's going to be coming from the educational department. So therefore, I know that many districts, especially ones who don't have that tax base, will definitely have to come up with innovative ways to either keep programs implemented or just probably come down to the wire of actually cutting some
and these are the kinds of issues that we have to, when we talk about education, we have to talk at a deeper level. We can't just talk on the surface.
Right.
We got to go at a deeper level, because the education system in Mississippi, Mississippi has used 3 pillars of oppression to oppress all people: black, white, Democrat, Republican, since its inception. And the first one is denial of education.
Right.
White, black, Democrat, Republican. 90% of these children in Mississippi go to public schools, and the underfunding of the education system, the changing of the system mid-year,
Right.
the changing of the funding mid-year,
Right.
you know, have been traditional hurdles that have been had to be crossed over and over again every year, right? We do well the first semester, they come back and move the goalposts, and
Right.
we make strides in the third quarter. By the fourth quarter, something else has changed. So we have to be more agile going forward, and be more aggressive, and be unapologetic in those pursuits.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about everything else that you have going on from the union.
Well, this upcoming Friday, we're going to have a town hall forum, which is going to be the mayor candidates here in Jackson. And our angle for Jackson Association of Educators is to give the community a basic understanding of what the mayor's role is in education, right? And helping them to understand how that affects JPS as a whole, right? Because we all know that JPS is facing some issues right now, and then the person that is going to be going into this role, we really have to come in with a working plan. Number one, again, I'll go back to the financial part. You know, JPS last year in mid-year, Governor Bryant did some additional cuts to JPS.
Right.
So that put them in, for the upcoming year in a financial bind, right? So that person coming in has to have a good sense of what he's going to do to help them meet those financial obligations,
That's right.
And I'm gonna let Darian talk a little bit about his role in one of the mayor's prior roles. I'm gonna let him talk about that.
So when Mayor Johnson was mayor, I served on the education committee, and one of our tasks was to create criteria for school board members. And so he used those criteria to select school board members. And on that committee, we had former school board members, we had people working in the community, serving on that committee. And so I think we came up with some pretty good criteria for selecting school board members. So,
now, you know, just up right there. You know, that's a very important conversation. We were presented something similar to that, and I would like to codify that. So, if you're outside the criteria, you can't even be, you know, nominated.
Right.
You know, on our side, through our legislative process, we can put some of those pillars in place so that we can move forward, and it won't even be a conversation of people outside the criteria, because it will be by city ordinance that you have to have or meet certain criteria. But I don't want to exclude everyone. I want to make sure that we have the right folks making these decisions, because it's so important.
and I think a group of people that we miss when selecting school board members are people who are already active in these schools, like PTA presidents and those people working on PTA boards. We rarely see these people being able to serve on school boards, and they're already working hard in these schools. So it would be nice to, you know, to tap into some of those people.
And you're right about untapped pools of potential. You know, even the federal workforce is an untapped, high-skilled, high-educated pool of folks that are in the community. You know, down at the federal building, we got folks at all levels of federal government who will be willing to serve the community in some capacity, but a lot of times they may not be in the right political circles because they're more engaged in national politics than local politics, or in national issues versus local issues. But there's several untapped pools of people that we need to pull from when it comes to school board members. So you're exactly right.
And I just want to kind of add on, Karen opened up about charter schools, and I want to first say that, you know, of course we're not here to bash charter schools and all of that, but we have to understand, and I think a lot of people don't quite understand the financial part of that. And once a child leaves the school district, and in this case JPS, because we have 2 charter schools, and I think 4 more have applied. In Jackson. And so, so when a child leaves JPS, the money follows that child. But what is not being told is that half those kids come back.
That's right.
But the money do not transfer back.
That's right.
And a lot of people do not understand that.
Yeah. So Let's talk about that at a deeper level as well for a few minutes, because a lot of parents are looking for something better to offer their child, and maybe they may feel that a charter school is something better. So, do you have some numbers or a close proximity of how many folks are coming back that went to charter schools when they first came out, but now are returning, and some of the reasons why?
Some of the reasons why is that a lot of their needs are not being met, right? Specifically children with IEPs. It's no plan in place for them at charter schools.
So IEPs, break the acronym down.
Individual educational plans.
Okay.
And they don't have a specific plan for those students, and they're not required by law to even service the children. So when they're not meeting criteria for the school, normally they come back to Jackson Public Schools, which they are equipped to handle children who need individualized planning. What makes a child successful in school is the parent, the community, the stakeholders, the candidates that we select in different positions, all working together, right?
That's right.
For that common cause. Even though financial obligations, those disparities will always be there, but if we can come to a collective understanding on what my role is as an educator, what the mayor's role is, even, you know, if you look at the city councilman, what their role is, do they have that influence that they need to actually move the people to working together? That's one aspect. That influence that's coming from the mayor. That's an important piece, because that influence actually, you know, that building a deeper relationship with the community is how you get people to engage and how you get them to also act. And there's where the change agents come in, right? That's the change that we want to see. I asked and you did.
Which is why we going to this town hall forum, which is something that hasn't been done here in Jackson with the Jackson Association of Educators, to try to make sure that we pull in these mayoral candidates early and try to hear from them so we can help parents and the community of Jackson Public School to make an informed decision.
Now, you know, I've been to a few mayoral forums. I think I've watched the other ones that I haven't attended via different people's video feeds. And, you know, education hasn't made enough light in these conversations. People talk about infrastructure, these different things. But education is vitally important, but a deeper conversation about education.
Right.
You know, so I'm encouraged by you having this event so that folks can have a deeper conversation about education, and that people can really see beyond the fluff and puff and soundbite kind of stuff, the deeper conversations of education and what the philosophy is that will be pushing the different administrations going forward.
Right, right. What I did gather from some of the other forums, that some of the questions being asked from the audience were not even directed at the right person, right? That's not within his role as a mayor. So who does answer those questions? Who is responsible and accountable for those different aspects of education? And again, I cannot even say it enough how education is very important. Even when you were talking to the young lady that came before me at the bank, right? How that affect our financial literacy, right? Us being able to earn money, not also earn money, how to invest money.
Right.
You know, our children should be purchasing stock. You know, I worked with this aspect with my daughter when she was 6 years old. How to purchase stock, how to watch the stock market, right? She opened up her banking account last year, and just teaching her those different aspects of how money works, right? But not only how money works, but how do you grow your money? How do you make use of your money? And then when you get that concept, are you bringing that back to your community? Are you helping your community? Are you bringing the funds back to your community? We have to start supporting each other. And that starts first with education, right? Without that, I can come at a higher level all day long, but it's the understanding there, right? So education is so important, and because people are pulling funds away from our children, that means we have to step up, right? Parents have to step up, educators have to step up, you have to get some guts, be bold, say things that may be uncomfortable, but it's going to be needed for the security of our children, right? And that's what we want to make sure that our children are being taken care of right here in our own city.
And you say, I guess from the role I'm in now, my wife and I as a caregiver, it spends not only for your children, but the better you prepare your children and then well equip them as you get older, and the shoe is on the other foot.
Right.
Have you provided them with all the resources they needed to take care of your matters? That's it's called the investment by sowing a seed. And when you talk about economics, is one of the things that we have to sow that seed is spend the money instead of buying Jordans for $200. Take $200, invest in Nike. If you, I'm just gonna give you I ain't telling you to go out and invest in Nike, but own stock in Jordan.
Right.
You know, so instead of buying the Jordan itself, own stock in Jordan.
Right.
And then as the people go out and buy Jordan, as you know, you walk around with your skippies or whatever they call them on, and they wearing Jordans, they are paying you money.
Right.
So those aspects where we, you know, socially, I see people make fun of other people, and especially from other cultures, but they go get out of school and they go work in their parents' restaurant, or they go help, you know, in a business of their own. So that's what we're saying. Those two conversations we just had, economic and education, go hand in hand for being one of the things that's going to help save our people.
So talk to folks about the location of the event. We talked about having a town hall meeting. You can give the time, date, location, all the things.
It's going to be at Jackson Medical Mall. The center stage is open to the public, and we definitely want to see everyone there. It's going to be Friday, the 31st, starting at 5:30 p.m. and ending at 7 p.m. The moderator for the event is Luther Kane.
That's it.
Okay. So what else do people need to know if they want to participate in with the association? How they participate? How do you sign up? Do you have any other activities going on other than the forum where people could participate and be involved in JE? Because you know, this teachers definitely need a voice,
Right.
and this voice that you all provide is a great voice and outlet to focus the energies of our educators of all levels. So talk about the organization for a second.
The organization, from my aspect, I joined about 11 years ago when I first started teaching, and everything that I needed professionally that Jackson could not afford to give, they provided for me. So leadership opportunities, not only in the state of Mississippi, you get to work with 3.8 million educators from all over the world. 2 years ago, I did a grant for about $15,000 is what it paid me, but it also provided me with additional training in understanding standards and Common Core. So I actually got to write my own online body of lesson plans that are aligned with core, but also go into that deeper thinking that our children need pedagogy. Just giving you a concept, not telling you what to do with it, but seeing how they can create on their own, right? And so that type of teaching is what we need right now for them to be equipped for where the world is going, technology-based, right? And so if you're looking for a way to advance as an educator into a leadership role, definitely MAE, Mississippi Association of Educators, is definitely the place. Meeting up with other teachers all over the world to understand that we have this same problem all over the world, usually in urban districts, right? And so just talking to other people, it takes a load off because, you know, we're not the only one to experience it. Maybe they experience it from different ways, but we all feel the same type of pressure. And how do we deal with that? So definitely is an avenue to grow your thinking from not looking at issues from your standpoint, but making sure that what you're looking at is going to be helpful for the masses, right? Another thing that MAE does is provide professional developments for what's uniquely designed for your local. So Jackson is the second largest district in the state of Mississippi, which unfortunately have taken a lot of hits financially. So what Jackson can't provide, I provide for my educators. If they call me, if they need something with RTI, retention, I give them that. If they need empowerment, I can give them that. And I can also give them opportunities to travel to get training as well. As far as grants, I've wrote several through MAE for things that I did not have technology-based. I wrote grants up to $5,000, no less than $5,000, and they afforded that to me. So ways of just making it work for you, because the help is out there. There's art grants out there that nobody's tapping into, you know. And if you need that additional training on how to write a grant, then we're the place. Not only that, we have a full-time lobbyist that sits right down there when they're making decisions on behalf of our children. So we know firsthand what's going to take place, what's going to happen, but we also have access to writing policies and introducing those policies. So every time that a teacher I've been raised in the state of Mississippi, actually that's been Mississippi Association of Educators that was working that.
And just to piggyback off of Kara serves as our UNICEF director for MAE. I also represent Mississippi on the National Education Association board. So once you join, you become a member of 3 associations: the local, which is JAE, the state, which is MAE, and then the national, which is the NEA. And so, and right now we are about to start our where you can join for free for 6 months. So there are any educators, and we're not just talking about teachers. We're talking about anyone who works in education: bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodial workers, secretaries. You can join, and you can join the association for free for 6 months. And I like to try to say this where people can join and begin to get a feel of what we're about before we start taking monthly dues from you, and that'll give you an opportunity to really get into see whether or not you want to stay or not. But we are the voice for educators, and so as we talk about teachers needing a voice, we are the voice for educators.
Well, that is it, and we definitely thank you guys for your support and the work that you've been doing with education. Like we said, education and economics go hand in hand. We definitely look forward to this project. We'll make sure that JPS students have not only the education material they need, but economic material for a bank account, a library card, and an ID. Because the library card gives them an opportunity to create the masterpiece they need, to go on in life, to do research on their own. And that's one thing we have to do more of, is require and create a standard of more critical thinkers.
Right.
Not teaching them what to think, but create them and teach them how to think. How to think for themselves, to analyze each situation and come up with the best answer for it at that time. Not saying cookie cutter. We have got to get out of the cookie cutter method and create critical thinkers, and by giving them more opportunity and exposure. So we thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
Give us the contact information for the organization, website, phone number, for any teachers out there who would like to call or join the association.
I'm going to give them my email address. It's credfield, that's CREDFIELD @MAE today, that's all one word, MAETODAY.org.
I think you might need to text it to one of us. We have to put it
I
in the
will.
feed.
Right, go on Facebook.
I will. I'll definitely put it in the feed.
Yeah, go on Facebook.
But MAE, you can Google it, and the website is there. And if you want to look at the benefits that are there are numerous benefits. It will take you a while to kind of go through all of that. But definitely, you can look at new membership and what it incurs.
And if they come out to the town hall, someone will be able to talk to them.
Definitely.
So town hall this Friday at 5:30, Medical Mall Center Stage.
And if you have not registered to vote, we'll be doing that as well.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue on with our 3 E's. We talk about economics, we talk about education. We talk about another way that we have utilized to educate our people, as we call a party with a purpose. And the party with a purpose coming up this Saturday will be at Next Level. Next Level, we will have one of the fundraisers that's going on for Mississippi Move, which is sponsored and partnered with Metro PCS. Also, we will have information from Hope Credit Union, TCL, Tax Services, and we have several vendors. But we got a call coming in. All right.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Good evening to you.
Thanks.
Look, you all talking about education. Now, saying the school is short on money over here, money over here. What I want to know, Ms. Sam, why is the school system paying every stringer $6,000 a month? Why? With the taxpayer money, our money. Why?
Could
That's
you
what I wanted you all to explain that to me.
could you repeat that again? We can't explain what we don't know.
You said Stringer. What?
David Stringfellow.
Okay, Stringfellow. Paying him what now?
He's supposed to be the public relations for the Jackson Public Schools. They give this man $6,000 a month of our money.
I thought that was, wasn't it voted down?
I thought
No,
that passed
Okay.
for
All right,
6,000.
well, let me do some little research and get back to you next week. Okay, Carl?
Please do,
All
Mr.
right.
Mayor.
No. I got another hand. Okay. Okay. It hung up, hand. Hey, call back.
And get ready, we're going to continue with this process. Please, if you have any questions, the town hall meeting is a place to come out this Friday at Medical Mall Center Stage at 5:30 p.m. So please come out, and any question you have related to education, there will be the experts there that can give you the answers you need. Because I'm in the same boat with you, brother, trying to figure. I didn't know that myself.
Okay.
So what we were talking about is this Saturday we will kick off April Fool's Day, the month of April, in the right fashion with Miss Cheryl Underwood. You might have seen her on Def Comedy Jam back in the day. You might have seen her in recurring roles on a couple of the soap operas. And also she is a co-host on the show called The Talk. She will be out there and live and uncut. We have a brother in the studio, Mr. Merk B, local comedian, and
Hold on a second.
we have a call?
Help, turn your radio down, caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yeah, how you doing this evening?
Hey, sir.
Councilman Stamps, last year there was an ordinance that y'all put in place where pawn shops and check cashing places, I think once they move, they cannot, no one else can move back in at the check cashing place or pawn shop.
Yeah, what you're referencing, brother, is I put forth an order. Turn your radio down, caller. I put forth an order to do a moratorium, and what a moratorium is we can have no more, right? Pawn shops, check cashing places, and places like that. And it didn't pass. Well, we're going to retool it to make it more specific, and hopefully we can get some support for it going forward. Because I don't really mind folks suing us, but we got to put our foot down. We shouldn't not do things for fear of getting sued. Mm-hmm. We should just put our foot down and move forward and let people, if they want to sue us for some type of thing, let them go ahead. But if we can, we're the government, and we should act like the government and proceed. So hopefully we can get some support going forward, brother. Turn your radio down. Let me catch the next call.
So as we have in the studio with us,
Thank
we
you.
have local comedian, host. If you got an event coming up, this brother's been in the game for quite a while. We have Mr. Merk B. How you doing, Merk?
What's up, Matt? What's going on? What's up, Dekeither?
So tell us what you got going on, brother.
Man, among so many things.
Right.
Just a lot of stuff. Just a lot of stuff. The biggest thing, what I'm here for today is this Saturday, it's going all the way down to Next Level Experience, man. Myself, I'm on the hosting duties, man, and my homeboy Nardo Blacktastic is going to be on the stage. Rita B, comedian Rita B of the Ricky Smiley Tour, she's going to be on stage, and we get to share the stage with the legendary Cheryl Underwood this Saturday. So folks need to come out, man. Jackson got that funny. It's going to be really. It's gonna be a real interesting show. I don't know if you missed Cheryl the first time.
Yeah.
She was dope then, but she's gonna be live and extremely uncut this weekend. So,
Right.
Yeah.
so I know you got a chance. Not only you got a chance to meet her, but she actually sat down and talked to you guys on a comedian level, like sharing some. And they sat down on the learning tree, and she talked to you guys. What's some things she talked to you guys about when
Well, just mainly just really encouraging us and really giving some real some positive feedback, but it was some real feedback. And that's really what you need, especially as an inspiring, comic or funny person in this particular game, man. The fact that she even took the time to sit down with us was enough. She didn't have to do that, especially, the caliber of superstar that she is at this particular point, the things that she's accomplished in her career. she saw enough in us for what we were able to show her that particular evening to say, let me sit down and talk to these young people. Like she, like literally pushed everybody else out of the room,
Right,
and sat us down
right.
and said, look, I want to talk to the comedians. And so, like, for her to just share some of that knowledge and some of her experience and just really tell us to get out there and really just, you know, go balls to the wall with it, man, and push forward and do the best that we can. That meant a lot to me personally. And of course, you know, she met with us individually as well too. I can't say everything she said. But,
yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah,
right.
I can't say everything she said.
But
she actually gave us some individual advice as well too, just kind of breaking down, you know, our sets and some of the jokes that we told and she heard. Because she stated she watched everybody. So
she did.
Yeah, that was really dope.
And the thing about it is, the crazy thing about what people don't understand, my uncle used to tell me all the time that it take a lot of sense to act a fool. So this sister is very well grounded. She's very well educated. She's a businesswoman. She's very involved in the political arena, and the sister is a veteran. So she's a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. She's the past international boss.
You had to throw that in.
Yeah, I had to throw it because guess what? She represented.
I know.
She gonna represent it. So she will be here this Saturday at Next Level. Doors open at 7 p.m. The show starts at 8 p.m. We got the after party included. DJ George Chuck gonna be there.
The Yard Boy reunion party.
Yeah, Merc B probably gonna be out there doing some hosting things for that too.
Man, look, I got my Ben Gay on deck. I'm probably gonna need it.
Tell
for
us
that
about
party.
it. So since the party gonna be so live, tell us the location, time, how you buy a ticket, and all that stuff.
As far as the show itself, like I said, you can go to.
Before y'all just jump all up to a frat.
Oh no.
Oh, see, now they not Greek.
I'm not Greek.
Oh, okay. I'm a none by none too. So go ahead and give us the time, date, location, and how can someone purchase a ticket?
Yeah, if you want to purchase tickets, like I said, the doors are going to open at 7. The show is going to kick off at 8 o'clock. If you want to purchase tickets, you can go to impacttickets.com. I have tickets on deck. Comedian Nardo, you can follow him at Nardo Blacktastic on Instagram and all social media. He has tickets on hand as well too. General admission tickets are $30. VIP tickets are $40. It's a guaranteed sellout. I'm telling you right now. If you go to impacttickets.com, you'll see an outline for each ticket. It's $10 for the party itself. Then you got the $30 general admission and the $40 VIP, if I'm not mistaken. If you buy a ticket to the comedy show, that automatically gives you admission to the party as well too.
Right.
So I would tell you to just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Come get your laugh on, and then come get your party on. So.
And I think Councilman Stamps gave away 2 tickets last week for the show.
Yeah, we did, and
That's what's up.
and I do appreciate those folks for helping in the neighborhood by picking up paper and cleaning up. See Cheryl Underwood.
So you think we might can get you 2 more tickets to give away?
Hey, if you give me 2 more tickets, anybody who wants to come by and help clean up.
There you go. You got to work for it.
We got to work.
You got to work for
Right.
it.
Work. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but
Okay.
Friday. It will be something. So there'll be some trash somewhere.
But
somewhere.
it's community work though,
It's
so you
community
can
work.
be a servant and
That's
get
right.
your blessing.
That's
so
right.
you get blessed
Come
with
on
some
out.
free tickets to an awesome
The
show.
first 2
to serve
folks
your
give us a
community.
call.
So you can't
One
beat
volunteer on Friday. Come on out, volunteer, go on, take a shower, put
So-
some clean clothes on.
that.
So Councilman Stamps, you just saying the next person that calls and say they want to volunteer to help clean up in Ward 4
That's right.
will get 2 tickets to see Cheryl Underwood live and uncut this Saturday night at
That's
Next
right.
Level.
That's right.
I wait on the phone. Does the Facebook count?
Yeah, on Facebook, send me on
Oh,
Facebook.
Facebook.
message, all
Oh,
of it, you know, all
if you
of it.
already affiliated, you cannot. You can't win. I just
Right.
wanted
Oh, okay.
the people that's already hanging out.
Because I was
doing
about to take my old lady and tell her to
Right,
call
see-
in for these tickets.
see,
Hurry up,
that's what
so
we
I
do.
won't have to buy you none. No, I'm
That's-
just playing.
So we definitely appreciate you stopping by, Merc, and definitely appreciate all the good things we have, and no matter what we're dealing with.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yes, I'll volunteer to clean up water.
Okay, let me write this number down. Don't hang up now. Make sure I got it down. 1, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna give you a call soon.
Do I get the tickets too?
What's that?
Do I get the tickets to see Cheryl Underwood too?
Right, you can get 2 tickets to see Cheryl Underwood. But I'm gonna give you a call on this number you're calling from right now. I don't want to broadcast your number all over the world, but this this 641 number you're calling from, I'm gonna call you back as soon as this show's over with.
Okay.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Boy, look at that.
Hey.
Look at God.
All right, don't put everything on God.
Right. You know, how the pastor said.
Right.
Yeah, look at
Right.
that.
Yeah, the guy, he gonna say, I'm gonna clean up and get blessed with these tickets. I got to do with it.
All right, so events this weekend. I appreciate you, brother, for all you're doing in the community to spur it, because economics is spurred by industry.
Right,
One of our
right.
biggest industries in the city is entertainment.
Absolutely.
And spurring our entertainment industry turns that money over in the community. Most of the folks that y'all hire through this process are Jacksonians, so this is us rolling money over in a different angle.
Right.
And so we have to start looking at entertainment as an industry,
Right.
not as something we just do. Right? This is something that provides livelihood, that feels, that does all that. So
He's living it right now.
So
Living it.
go ahead and give your contact information so
Okay.
if folks want to contact you
Cool.
in the future. What's that?
Absolutely, man. If you guys can follow me on all social media is at Merc B. Williams. That's MERC Williams. That's on all social media platforms. If you want to book me for whatever your event is, you can email me with all details for your event at bookmercb@gmail.com. Also, follow the Late Night Jackson platform. I'm actually a talk show host as well too, where we have a variety show that we have. So follow Late Night Jackson, and I'm also a writer for a magazine as well too. So follow the magazine, So Effing Dope magazine out of California. Shout out to my people out there as well too. Like I said, as always, man, I'm on a mission to go from local to legendary. Let's get it.
Okay, and I want to get on the Late Night Jackson.
Come on, man, we waiting on
Yeah,
you.
we
We
got
got
I'm
you.
ready. Matt, can we give the announcements?
Okay.
Out there?
We have a couple of announcements. Once again, we will have this Friday, we will have for the Mississippi Association of Educators, we have the town hall forum at the Medical Mall, 5:30, and they're also going to be talking about the mayor's role in the process with education. 5:30 at Center Stage. While we're talking about education, also we're going to piggyback and talk about economics. This Friday also at Johnny T's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will be at Johnny T's, so make sure that you go out to Johnny T's, Hope Credit Union, and TCL Tax Service. We talk about economic empowerment, how to use and invest your money, talking about opening an account with a credit union, talking about Roth IRAs and investment. If you are an entrepreneur and you have your own business, you need to learn about investing in yourself. It's the simplest thing as saying, I'm not going to eat fast food for a week and take that money and put it into a non-traditional or a traditional Roth IRA. So come out this Friday. You can actually do both. You can go to the event at the Medical Mall, and then you can leave there and come to Johnny T's and get educated about economics. All of these things will help prepare you to have a good time Saturday night with Ms. Cheryl Underwood and Next Level Experience. All those things will help you be a healthy and happy person in the city of Jackson. So make sure you come. Make sure always contact us here at Revive Mississippi. We always looking for good help. If you want to be a part of a change agent, be a part of solutions. So make sure you get a call to 601-960-2052 if regarding Ward 4 information. And you can always find Brother Dekeither Stamps on Facebook.
Okay, and as always, everyone, I know it's election season, and you got all these different people splitting the community up in different ways. Our main goal is to be unified in our pursuits, deliberate in our actions, and focused on our intentions. All right. So make sure you stay focused on what's going on in the city. And I'm running for re-election, and I appreciate if y'all give me the opportunity to come on back because I like what I'm doing, and I don't want to quit.
Vote for Stamps.
We just getting started. and as always, everyone, as we say every week, never let anyone put you in a position where you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own people, you're part of the very oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of. I love you, Jackson. I love you, Mississippi. Handyman, take us out of here. We see you next week.
Vote for Stamps. Foolishness.
Love y'all. God bless.
Foolishness.